Hey, it's Rob from ChainsawGuitarTuition.net. Today I'm going to talk about something that's been asked of me quite a lot, and that's how to form a solo, how to play lead guitar. There is a bit of a jump between playing stuff that's written down for you and improvising your own material, but it is entirely possible to play over something you've never heard before, if you're told what the chords are, just by using these 7 powerful techniques that I'm just about to share with you. 7 ways in which you can create a solo from scratch. Okay, so step 1 is to find the right scale. So you need to be able to play a scale that fits your chords or backing track or whatever it is you're playing along to. If you can't do that, you're never going to find anything that fits, and you're just never going to sound good. Okay, apart from being in tune, it's one of the things that's really fundamentally really important. I suggest getting some of the pentatonic scales. I'll put a link to them in the description on my website. Okay, there are 5 shapes, 5-note scale, really easy to use, and the major and minor scale just are a different order of those shapes. This scale is the one used by many guitarists, such as Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath, or Richie Blackmore in Deep Purple, for example, or AC/DC. The next step is to work on something called phrasing, which is literally just breaking the notes up into small chunks. Something like that to backing. Just going on like that does not add a lot to the solo. You can do it a lot better. If you break it up, start breaking it up into little chunks. That's a phrase. So breaking your things up into phrases. A well-timed, a well-phrased wrong note will sound better than a badly phrased right note, okay? Right, number 3, a logical extension of that. If you've got someone wants to shred and they're playing something like this, and that's their whole solo, just constantly going on without any breaks, that is also the same problem, and that's where people get this thing where it's just constant speed. And although, yeah, speed can be impressive, it doesn't go anywhere. So what you want to really do is separate that out. If you're the type of person who's stuck in that trap, separate that out. So you maybe do so you're adding melodic bits in there, or gaps, or phrases basically. Alright, the next step, you've got your scale right, you've got your phrases, and you're not shredding your face off too much and boring everyone. The next thing you need to do is to have something called target notes, okay? These are notes that are usually notes of the chord, or chord tones, and you're going to emphasise these notes and end your phrases on these notes. So if we take the pentatonic scale, the shape of the pentatonic scale, and then we overlay the A minor bar chord, we've got some target notes within that scale, right? That's the gist of it. So if I play now, ending a phrase ending on one of those notes, it sounds a lot better. Obviously this involves knowing your notes of the fretboard. There is a link on the sidebar on my website, notes of the fretboard, and knowing your bar chords. So you want the E shape and A shape, both major and minor forms, okay? And be able to play those all over the neck. That's really useful for lead guitar. Right, the next step, to add a bit of personality, a bit of a vocal kind of singing quality to your lead lines and solos, we want to add some vibrato and string bends, okay? But the one thing to watch with these, right, is make sure you go into a pitch. Alright, so this can be true of both vibrato and string bends. So we've got the vibrato, which is this, as opposed to just having a straight note. So the problem with this, make sure you go back to the note. Alright, so you've got the note there, the straight string is your note, okay? So I'm playing an A on the 7th fret of the D string. So if I then do this, which is the vibrato, wobbling the note up and down, I'm returning back to pitch and then going up and then returning, okay? So I'm not doing this, which is I pull the note up and then wiggled it up. That is not right, because you're not on pitch and you'll sound out of tune. The same goes for string bends. If you're just bending up to nowhere, that's not as good as if you pick a target. Just bending notes randomly is the fastest way to make yourself sound crap. Okay, so far you've got the right scale. You've put your thing into phrases. You're not shredding your face off too much. You're targeting certain notes, and you may have even added some bends to add a bit of personality, a bit of extra something to your phrases and solos. Next, we're going to look at passing notes, which are literally the notes in between, the ones you're not targeting. Okay, these is more of a technical thing. It's the opposite note. So if you're targeting, that's your target. That's the C on the G string. That's the 5th fret. But your notes in between are just passing notes. They're not as emphasised, not as important. Okay, and that leads to the next step, which is playing outside. I don't mean sitting in a field strumming Kumbaya or anything like that. What I mean is playing outside of the scale, outside of where people expect you to play. But you can get this right if you phrase correctly and target your notes correctly. So if I was to do over this chord, if I was to do that would be completely inside. If I was to play that would be outside. But I've targeted a note and I've broken it down into phrases. Or repeating patterns, that counts as well. So if you're doing something up the neck, that kind of thing, I'm actually just playing repeating patterns, something used a lot in shred. That doesn't fit any particular scale or anything. That's just a repeating pattern that I happen to like. And then if you end it on an A, it makes sense. Whereas all the previous notes didn't really make sense other than just being a nice, convenient pattern. So if you like this lesson, don't forget to go to my channel, check out some of my other lessons, and don't forget to subscribe, of course. A full lesson is on my website. I'll link to that below, full lesson of this. If you've got any questions, just please put them in the comment section. And until then, I'll see you next time.